Welcome to the Tokyo Metropolitan Gymnasium. It's the last step for qualification for the Rio Olympics and the games which begin in just over 9 weeks' time in Brazil. Australia play Iran, two giant forces in Asian volleyball. And there's the Australian lineup. Jacques Bourgeot will be the libero. Thomas Edgar, who's come into this match under an injury cloud, but the top scorer from the last World Cup. They've got a deep squad with the return of Aidan Zingle into their lineup. Max Staples also provides some wide attacking cover. Niamar Mote is an excellent blocker along with Zingle. So defensively they'll be a lot more solid than they were at the World Cup. It wasn't a World Cup to remember for Iran. Marouf is their chief setter. Everything goes through him. He's the captain of the side. Mahmoudi, a very, very experienced campaigner as well. And in the Iranian lineup, I've got Raul Lozano, the new coach who took over from the Serbian who was sacked to Slobodan Kovic after the World Cup in Japan in October. And that was a tournament to forget for the 2 times Asian champions, the current Asian Games winners from Incheon a couple of years back. Benjamin Bell did not play at the World Cup. There is Thomas Edgar, the Australian captain. He's come in with abdominal issues. Amir Ghafour was one of their better performers at the World Cup with a spiking percentage of 53. They've been regular combatants at Olympic qualification, meeting in the last 3 times in the process to qualify for the Olympic Games, including that straight sets win at the last World Cup in Japan. That was in Australia's favour. So it's day 1 in 9 days of competition. You can just sense the tension between all nations wanting to qualify. The top 4, including the best Asian nation at these Olympic qualifiers, will go through to Rio. If that top 4 includes 2 or 3 Asian teams, they'll all qualify. But of course we've got the world number 2 Poland and the current European and World League champions in France also competing. So 2 very, very accomplished European nations, as well as some well-performed Asian countries as well, with China, Iran, Japan, the host nation, and Australia making up the 4 nations from the bloc of Asia. Pretty relaxed green and gold lineup. They've had a very good couple of weeks in Italy, winning some friendlies against Norway, sweeping Norway, and also beating Italy, an under-strength Italy, in one of their 2 friendlies. Iran lost twice to France in the lead up to these Olympic qualifiers, but also getting great support here in Japan.
Ladies and gentlemen, please rise for the national anthem, the Commonwealth of Australia.
「
the national anthem of the Islamic Republic of Iran.
Well, despite being 2 times Asian champions, Iran have never qualified for the Olympic Games. They are the reigning Asian Games title holders, and they've got a rich history against Australia, who stopped their run in 2012. Olympic Games which Australia qualified for, and Iran missed out. Iran humbled by the Volleyroos at the last edition of the World Cup. First referee from Italy, Fabrizio Pasquali. Assisted by Venan Simonovic of Serbia. Of course, the challenge system includes tablets for the women's and men's Olympic qualifying tournament. It requires the assistant to launch a challenge via a tablet. Aidan Zingel, a best blocker in the Italian Serie A. Nehemiah Mote with Nathan Roberts. Sam Walker, Sukachev will be the setter. Paul Carroll. So no Thomas Edgar in the starting 6. He, of course, is just nursing that abdominal injury. Roberto Santilli, the Italian coach, who's had plenty of experience at club level in Europe and has guided Australia for just over a year now. And there's the Iranian lineup. Badapur Maroof is their setter, one of the key creative players in this Iranian lineup. Gholami Ghafour was the attacking force. Mersin Jampor was one of the chief scorers of the World Cup. And Zarif, a very experienced libero. Raul Lozano, the Argentinian-born coach of Iran, has taken over in stormy waters since Kovic's sacking after the World Cup. Certainly a very tempestuous national team, Iran. At their best, they can push any nation in the world, but at their worst, they provide certainly an unpredictable outcome. So a lot of pressure on both nations, more importantly for Iran to qualify. It's certainly been the missing link in their men's volleyball story. Sam Walker to serve to start the last stage of qualifying in Japan 2016. Well, ace to start the tournament. Misunderstanding between a couple of the Iranian backcourt players. He wasn't expecting that. A very, very tame serve to start the tournament. He's not known for his jump serve. Luke Perry covering the backcourt well. And Just a touch there by Australia. Zayden Zingle with some really nifty front court activity. 2-love to the Volleyroos. Of course, they swept Iran in straight sets at the World Cup. That's more like it. Saeed Mousavi, who's the top scorer at the World Cup, 127 points, 90 spikes, a really good conversion rate, and you can see why. Point to Iran. 2-all. No challenge by Australia. That's Paul Carroll who's best. Playing the opposite in the absence of the captain, Thomas Edgar, who was the top scorer at the World Cup with 176 points. Paul Carroll wasn't 100% wound up for that World Cup after coming off some pretty serious injuries in the previous 12 months. Arriving deep, and that's excellent work from Iran's number 10, Amir Ghafour, who had the best spiking conversion rate at the World Cup of any Iranian player, over 50%. Yamai Mote collecting a finger along the way for a point one to Australia. Had a brilliant season in Germany in the Bundesliga, the second best blocker in the league. Joining Paul Carroll, who just served the ball out at Berlin, along with Luke Perry. Bundesliga champions Berlin will have 3 Australians on their roster. And there's Thomas Edgar just itching to get into the action. 4-all, first set. That's good work. Nathan Roberts creating the angle and the power. Over 300 matches for Australia. 2007 Asian champion. Good work by Sukachev. Had enough power and direction. Raul Lozano full of encouragement early on. It's level at 5-all, first set. Off the fingers of Mote. A good scenario there for Iran, just helped over. And Butterport winning the point. Best server in this Iranian team with 14 aces at the World Cup, but combining that with the best return of serve as well. Ghafour's had a good opening. Rising well, you can just see how much goes through Saeed Marouf, the captain, setter in this Iranian team. Excellent block there by Iran. Good defensive cover in the middle. Of course, the hands can be over the net, but they cannot touch it. And that can be subject to a challenge. 2 challenges per team per set. And again, it's Paul Carroll rising, but this time successfully for Australia. Solid block was pierced. 7-all first set. It's a poor serve by Sukachev, who has got his left leg heavily strapped, as we can see, just a concern over his calf muscle. The first technical timeout. First team reaching 8 and 16 points has that timeout. And it's Iran with the edge. 8 points to 7. There's cameras on every line to facilitate the challenge system. 13 cameras in total, just triangulate the vision, enabling Hawkeye to animate the calls on the line. Serve to Iran, who lead 8-7 first set. So excellent stuff blocked by the Iranians. Their weakness during the World Cup has been the strength in the first set. The middle blocking power, 9-7. That's a lot better. Just got the angle as well as the power. Aidan Zingle rising well and just angling that spike. Of course, missed the World Cup. And plenty of volleyball in the 4 years, the former captain. And Sukachev changed the direction of the set, but Iran adjusted well. See, they're just flicking it wide for Paul Carroll. Just one defender to beat, but he couldn't do it. That's excellent work by Luke Perry, just marshalling the backcourt, not panicking. Playing into the hands of Paul Carroll, that's a lot better. Australia under threat of losing touch with Iran in this first set. They claw a point back. Oh, that's a good block. That's excellent work. Nathan Roberts kept his body shape. There you go. That's how to do it. Tight call, ball was out. Of course, all the coaches were at the press conference yesterday saying they're still getting used to operating the tablets with the challenge system. Oh, that's very, very good. Covering the line, it was Nehemiah Mote. Australia arresting the lead from Iran, and they hold a 12-11 advantage with a timeout.
Una, la recepción a ver si la podemos levantar. Más alta. Estamos haciendo esta que sea marca el gol. Así podemos jugar con Sayed. Están sacando shot. Más rápido. Más rápido. Hagamos un bloque. Dale.
Australia lead to 7 attacks to 4. 5 errors from Iran have not served them well in this first set. Volleyroos have the advantage 12-11. That's timing the leap to perfection for Saeed Moussoufi. The middle blocker was the point score leader for Iran at the World Cup. Good jump served by Mersan Japor. And Carroll found the fingers for a point to Australia. Sam Walker got enough on the return. And that's clever work by Paul Carroll. His jump serve is long. Of course, they're just missing the excellent serve of the captain, Thomas Edgar. Carroll missing the mark. Oh, that's huge. Very big indeed by Sam Walker. The ebb and flow of the first set continues. 4 lead changes so far. That's a pretty good reply. Adel Gholami had 48 points at the World Cup. Well, not their chief point scorer by any means, but he did that brilliantly. Well, Iran at that World Cup lost 6 of their last 8 matches. It was really a pretty significant implosion, after which Kovac was sacked, the Serbian coach. So they were in disarray at that World Cup. Since then they've rebuilt under Lozano. They're looking a lot more solid, as that point would suggest. 16-15, Iran lead at the technical timeout.
Ahora, estén atentos, pelota separada, lenta, no es alta, súper, están tirando.
Full lineup today on day 1. China play France at the conclusion of this match, and Poland faced Canada. Poland, the top nation of this qualifying tournament, ranked 2 in the world. And the final match features the host nation, Japan, against Venezuela. So high hopes for Japan to qualify, but equally high for the green and gold Volleyroos, expecting to get through to Rio. Zingle missing the mark, and that's a 2-point cushion to Iran. Just hit a flat spot here, Australia. 18-15, the Iranian lead.
Challenged by Australia.
So a challenge by Australia has been instigated by the tablet.
Challenge is broadcast.
Let's see if it's caught fingers. It hasn't. So they'll lose one of their two challenges in the set. If that was successful, they'd retain the two. It was worth a go. Ben Hardy, the assistant controlling the tablet for Roberto Santilli, but they would have definitely discussed the challenge there. 18-15 to Iran. Excellent block. Zingle denied, and Iran have a very comfortable 4-point cushion. Things can change quickly though. Timeout called.
Timeout by Australia.
They're following a lot. You have two players, but everybody make a mistake. We make a mistake, they make a mistake. Just keep calm and play the next.
Roberto Santilli said the ability to perform under pressure would define Australia's Olympic qualification. They were inconsistent at the World Cup. They've tightened up in certain areas. Defensively, a lot stronger with Aidan Zingle back in the lineup. Nathan Roberts as well. But they trail 19-15 in this opening set. Now that's a clever point. All started with the serve from Butterpaw. It was floated and well directed. Set the theme of the point, so things really rolling Iran's way. 2015. Best server in the Iranian lineup can mix up the jump serve with the variation. Wasn't so good there. Let's see if Australia can take advantage. Well, that's comprehensive indeed. Adel Gholami rising really well to a perfect set there by Maruf in the sweet spot. Another excellent block. Australia denied, and they are really missing that cutting edge of Thomas Edgar. Sam Walker could not penetrate the block. Paul Carroll arriving from a wide position, successfully so. Iran still lead 22-17. The Australians thinking about a challenge, and they have. So from the buzzer, they've got 5 seconds to apply the challenge on the touchpad.
Challenge by Australia.
Looks like they may go for the touch off the block. It's an out call, and it was in just the edge of the line caught.
Challenge was not successful.
So 23-17, Iran edging towards this first set. That's good work by Sam Walker. On a championship in Slovenia with Ljubljana. 76 points, his third leading scorer for Australia at the World Cup. Well, Maruf really has been the difference in this first set, just setting superbly. The speed of play of which Iran can execute is very hard to defend against.
Number 10 out. Number 5,
So Fahad Gaimi comes in, set point to Iran. It's a lot better. Perfect set. Nathan Roberts timed his leap to perfection, saving 1 set point. Benjamin Bell coming in, the reserve setter, number 2 to Sukachev. Another player that missed the World Cup. The boy from Brisbane, 26 years of age, creeping towards 50 caps for Australia. That's a poor way to concede the opening set. The service fault, and Iran have been much the more consistent, winning the opener 25 points to 19 in the first match of Olympic qualifying. So time to regroup for the Volleyroos, outpointed by a very sharp Iranian lineup in the first set. And Lozano, the coach, really pumping out the instructions, wanting them to maintain their intensity. You can see the error count creeped up for Australia, 10-3, ready to find their first set in the end. 13 attacks to 11, so attacking-wise they were there, but just too many defensive errors. Iran blocked very well in that first set, in key points too, 4-2. Australia winning the dig count, but really that's just a reflection of how they were on their heels in that opening set in the first match of Olympic qualifying. So Roberto Santilli spoke about consistency and making the right choices defensively against Iran, with Maruf such a very, very good setter. One of the best in the competition. There he is, the Iranian captain on the left, in a pre-match exchange with Thomas Edgar, who's yet to see court time. And everything went through Iran's number 4 in that first set. Key moments, they found the right combination. Australia just couldn't find any momentum. Golami and their top scorer, Saeed Masuvi, in good form, just feeding off the genius which is Saeed Marouf. All the Iranian players play in the domestic competition. Marouf was formerly at Zenit Kazan in Russia. Pretty unusual scenario. We've got a couple of genuine World Cup class players that don't apply their trade in Europe. Of course, Australia don't have the option, not a viable national league, so all their stars play either in Europe or Asia. No Thomas Edgar, and at the moment Australia look out of sorts. There's encouragement from the Aussie captain on the right, but nursing that abdominal strain. Muscle in his abdominal region has denied him action in this first match. In his absence, a lot of responsibility on the shoulders of Aidan Zingel and Paul Carroll. There's Marouf. Australia will have to find another way. Second set, Iran to serve. Zingel not making up the ground, not his strength, of course. All comfortable in the middle blocking role. 1-1 second set. That spike out. Nathan Roberts with a bit too much angle. Initially, it was the defensive work of Iran that kept them in the point. They've just got too many guns in the front court as well. Merjanpour with that excellent spike. Well, they've just lost their focus, the Volleys, gifting easy points to Iran. That's just a standard return by Sam Walker. It's a good timeout called by the Australians. They'll need to regroup here. As Tom Edgar looks on, Australia trail by a set and 4-1 in their opening qualifying match. That time it was well directed by Roberts. Plays for Mandovi in Italy in the second tier of Italian volleyball. surgery on his elbow, missed the World Cup last year. Oh, that's convincing. Again, it was just Marulf's perfectly weighted set. That's just premium service for Saeed Masovi. Point to Australia, the block out. More like it for Paul Carroll. And that's more like it from Nehemiah Mote. Solid green and gold wall there was impenetrable. Best blocker in the German Bundesliga. Close call, point to Iran. Sam Walker got it right. So they've got a plethora of left-handed spikers in this Australian lineup. Walker and Carroll. The Australian coach spoke about the players keeping their heads up and finding a way back. It's much a mental battle for them as it is tactics in this qualifying series. Off fingers, point to Australia from that Paul Carroll spike. Oh, that's beautiful volleyball. Lovely to watch. Adel Ghalami going for touch over Braun on that occasion. Technical timeout. Iran the first to 8 points in this second set.
Continuamos el saque sobre el número 13. 30, the shot, the float, number 30. Okay? Está más abajo en recepción. Estamos recibo para recepción ahí. Vamos.
Another shot of Ghalami's touch, just catching the front court of Australia off guard. Roberts couldn't make up the ground. Great instincts in this Iranian team. Very much the metronome is Saeed Marulf, their captain. Well, that was the area that they really struggled in. Defensive front court work at the World Cup last year, but there's been nothing lacking in that department against the green and gold. Amir Ghafour with that stuff block in the front court. Good reaction by Roberts. Nothing stopping that though. No, it has been called out. Challenged by the Iranians. Let's see what Hawkeye has to say about this. We've got 5 seconds from the buzzer to apply the challenge. No touch. Australia stay in this second set, trailing 9-7. Quick work by Zingel. That's really good instincts. Helping on Paul Carroll's kill at the net with some touch. Fahad Gaimi in, the wing spiker. Of course, one of all the roster to play their domestic volleyball in Iran. It's been an impenetrable wall so far. The blocking skills of the Iranians. I think both had a hand at that. Murzan Jampur and Adel Galami. Well, three things really rolling Iran's way, but perhaps the choice of angle for Australia a little bit predictable. Easily defended. Benjamin Bell comes in. Sukachev under a cloud with that calf strain. Uncharacteristic by Luke Perry, just a standard return of serve. Missed by the man who's moving to Berlin, the Bundesliga winners. He'll play alongside Nehemiah Mote and, of course, Paul Carroll, who won the championship with Berlin. The Olympics just around the corner, just over 9 weeks away, starting in Rio on the 5th of August. Of course, the football tournament starts before the opening ceremony. Australia need to build some momentum. Hayden Zingel with the serve. Australia trailing 10-12. Well, that's where class setting really does go a long way to determine the point. Had a number of options there. Went for touch over power. Point 1, 13-10 the spread. Paul Sanderson with his first minutes, replacing Nathan Roberts. Won a Belgium league with Rosselaire this season, the 30-year-old wing spiker. Things just rolling for the 2 times Asian champions, Iran. Mote had just to adjust his contact of the net. Technical timeout. Iran with a healthy 16-10 lead, leading by a set to love in this first match of Olympic qualifying.
Ahora tenemos también a este jugador en recepción. Buscamos ahí también al 3. Ahora busquemos también al 3, ¿ok? Entre el 6 y el 5, ahí. ¿Ok? Vamos de nuevo. Entre 6 y 5 el saque. Atención a las bandas. Doble penetración, atención a las bandas.
Played second fiddle to Iran, who've been much the better so far. On their serve, they lead 16-10, second set. There's situations like that. A couple of times Luke Perry's just lost his focus in returning serve, just puts Australia behind the 8 ball. They can't get anything with the set, anything going at the front court. Time out. Berto Santilli will have to ask for readjustment of their focus for this match. High hopes in the opening encounter against Iran. Of course, they're missing their top scorer from the World Cup. Their leading attacking player in Thomas Edgar, the captain. They finished the World Cup impressively, the green and gold, winning their last 4 matches. It's going horribly awry for them in this one against Iran. Paul Sanderson with his first kill of the match. That's a good jump serve. That's the way to engender confidence through the team. He and Thomas Edgar possess the best serves in this Australian lineup, but with the risk comes the reward on that occasion. 100 kilometres an hour, the service speed. This time it's out. (19-12). That's a lot better. Well-constructed point. Sanderson did his job, finding fingers. Sharp work by the Australians. They need more of it. And service ace. Sanderson really making his mark off the bench. Fastest of the match so far by any Australian. That is a violent spike, front court. Great angled set there by the captain, Saeed Maroof. Tasha Corey in. Saeed out. Max Staples returns. Sam Walker making way. It's too hot to handle for Paul Carroll. Just look at the way Maruf changes the point of attack for the Iranians. Very hard to defend that set. Max Staples does his job, front court. Australia playing catch up in this second set. Thomas Edgar cools his heels. The Australian captain being protected for the tournament. They certainly don't want to risk him in match one. 9 days of competition, 8 teams vying for 4 places to Rio. One Asian team has to automatically go through, but if 2 or 3 end up making the top 4, they'll qualify. Won't be the automatic 2 of previous cycles. Australia just hanging in there in the second set. Well judged, floats out. But a healthy cushion for Iran. Oh, Bell's dig wasn't quite good enough. Set point to Iran. Jacques Bourgeot on the court as the libero. Of course, the number 2 to Luke Perry, but Perry hasn't had the best of matches. Serve was out. Just floating long by Fahad Gaimi. Max Staples returns the favour, and the second set goes to Iran. It's comfortable work for them at the moment. 2 sets to love over Australia in this opening match of Olympic qualifying. Well, you must credit Raul Lozano for the resurgence of Iranian volleyball. They were a team in disarray at last year's World Cup. The players weren't playing for coach Slobodan Kovic. And there's the numbers very much in favour of Iran. In that set, 12 attacks to 9. 5 errors apiece, so a little bit better in that respect for Australia. But defensively, Iran all over the Volleyroos at the moment. Excellent defensive cover at the front court. That shows very much on the scoreboard. 2 sets to love. Again, Maruf made them tick in the second set. Quality such as that, just setting up Ibadapur. He was the 4th best setter at the World Cup last year in the Steam Company. And Thomas Edgar, the Australian captain, has to look on. Paul Carroll with an excellent serve. Paul Sanderson made his mark late in the second set, but Just too little too late for Australia. The fans love it. Very good expat population of Iranians in Japan. And at the moment, Raul Lozano, who has guided Poland to success at World Championship level with a silver medal at the 2006 titles, has really got this Iranian team ticking along quite nicely in this first match. And for the first time, we see the Australian captain Thomas Edgar on the court. Volleyroos chasing the match. Down 2 sets to love. They desperately need a reaction. Greg Sukachev to serve to commence the third set. And the opening spike successful. Edgar just trying to generate some energy into this Australian lineup. Very much a leader on the court. Plays his club volleyball now in Beijing. And for Iran, it will just be continued to doing what they did so well in the first 2 sets. Combining their defensive steel with some good options and good decisions at the front court, attacking wise. 1-all, third set. Zingle found the right power and angle. Challenged by Iran. Raul Lozano was talking pre-match about how he's getting used to the new challenge system. He's going to be disappointed here. It's well in. So point to Australia. Loses one of 2 challenges for the set. Disappointing serve by Sam Walker. Australia had the defensive cover, but Iran got the touch off the block. 3-all, third set. Just off Nehemiah Mote. So just the little things not going Australia's way. Everything's going through Tom Edgar. And that's why. 4-3. Top scorer for Australia at the World Cup. In the top 10 of point scorers with 176 points. Errant serve though. That points tally ranked him 7th overall. It's not sharp enough by Australia. Always putting themselves on the back foot in pressure situations. Perhaps a net touch there. No challenge by Australia. Point to Iran. Again, a solid defensive block. No way through for Paul Sanderson. So, ball in-out challenge by the Australians. Just caught the edge of the line. So point to Iran. Worth a go though, a lot closer than the previous challenge by Raul Lozano. That's 212 centimetres of fury on show from Thomas Edgar. Jacob Geimer in for his first minutes of Olympic qualifying. Middle blocker. Plays in Holland. Served by Paul Sanderson. Second challenge by Iran. Well, there may be an indiscretion with this particular challenge. Assistant coach has to push the right button on the tablet. Some confusion on the Iranian bench about the nature of the challenge. 7 categories in total. Referees conferring. Not clear what the challenge is for at the moment.
The challenge is boring out.
So in-out challenge. And clearly in is the call. So point to Australia. They lose the second of their challenges and without a further challenge for the set. Iran a lot tighter on the scoreboard as well, so that may play its part. Australia trailing 6-7. Again, a beautifully constructed point, orchestrated by Maroof. Technical timeout. Iran the first to 8 points in this third set. Raul Lozano just fine-tunes the instructions. Saeed Marouf's been the danger and the difference. The Iranian captain, just see there, just absolutely perfect for Adel Gholami. They've taken their front court opportunities a lot better than their opposition tonight. Australia playing catch-up, trailing 6-8 in this third set. Thomas Edgar denied. An excellent stuff block, covering that channel. It's found the corner. Point to Iran. Australia thinking about the challenge, but it's definitely caught the line. Good work by Zarif, the libero for Iran. Timeout called by the green and gold. Australia trailing by 2 sets to love and 6-10 in the third.
When you pass the ball, just push it. You know, don't think about what just make the next.
Australian has not found any rhythm in this match. Roberto Santilli doesn't give too much away with his reaction. It's about as agitated as you see him. I'm sure he'd be disappointed at what he's seen so far. Iran have been in their rhythm, Australia totally out of theirs. The Iranians lead 10-6 and by 2 sets to love. Tomategga finding the edge of the block. Off the hands of Mirzajampur. Signs of building what they haven't had in this match, momentum. 8-11 they trail. That service error, Jacob Garma replaced. Good work by Sam Walker. A lot better set there by Sukachev. Good angle for the left-hander to work with. That's just beautifully fed. Again, Marouf just with the deftest of touches, changing the point of attack. No wonder the likes of Gafour and Mirzajampur, Musavi love playing with their captain. Here's the pendulum by which Iran tick. Straight out with the serve and trailing 10-13 in this third set. A couple of service errors has Roberto Santilli scratching his chin. the top of the net. And the ball sails wide for a 15-10 advantage to Iran. A timeout called by Santilli.
Hey guys, come on. Just remind you, don't serve number 5. You serve on the same to let the libero receive. Don't serve easy. Play on this one. And then we have to go ball by ball, guys. Ball by ball.
The Australians won their last 3 matches of the World Cup. I may have mentioned 4, but it was 3, beating Iran, Tunisia and Venezuela after 5 heavy losses, including defeats to Poland, Argentina and Russia. So it was a mixed bag at the World Cup. They've got, on paper, a stronger lineup with Aiden Zingle, Nathan Roberts back. Benjamin Bell in the lineup. Just another perfectly weighted set. He is absolutely centimetre perfect, Saeed Marouf. Technical timeout, Iran the first to 16 points in the 3rd set. He's a gifted setter, one of the best in the world, and he's guided Iran to this point. 2 sets to love and 16-11. Saeed Mousavi replaced by Amin and Tasha Khoury. Straight swap in the middle. Well, that's out. Australia thinking about the challenge, but what they've done so well in this match, Iran, has stayed in points. Just great body language and harmony. They're playing for their coach. So determined to qualify for their first Olympic Games after so many close calls in the past. Well, they've been defensively brilliant in this match, Iran. Many experts' choice of the Asian qualifier in this tournament. It has been messy for Australia in this match, that's for sure. Poorly constructed point. Iran profiting. And it's gone forward with a kill. See if Thomas Egger can get his jump serve going. Answer is no. 20-12 to Iran.
Substitution by Australia. Number 14 out. Number 17 held in.
So Sukachev replaced by Paul Carroll. Ben Bell coming in for Thomas Edgar. That's better. Really solid block covering the channel. Sam Walker with a good position. Following up with a good serve too, so a couple of points strung together. So timeout called by Iran, not too keen for Australia to build any momentum. They lead 20-15 Iran with an advantage of 2 sets to love in this match. Paul Sanderson to serve. Australia trailing 15-20 in this third set. Well, their service has really let them down in this match. It's not the only department that's been substandard. But it's just denied them any chance to build a snowball effect. Iran creep closer to a straight set sweep. Good touch by Paul Carroll. Thinking about a challenge off fingers, off the block. A challenge there by the Australians. It'll certainly be for a touch off the block. Close call, and it's going to go in favour of Iran. So they've lost their second challenge. Of course, Iran lost that courtesy a lot earlier in the set. But a comfortable margin for the 2 times Asian champions. Well, Australia's precision has not been there, and it's just meant that they've played catch-up in too many rallies. Allow the creative players of Iran to do what they do best. 23-15. That was a lot better done. Sanderson rising well from the back court. Floating serve caught the Iranians off guard. A mistake there by Fahad Gaimi. Oh, their structures look so comfortable. Iran, as Saeed comes in for Tashikori. Match point to Iran. One save, plenty more to come. And that's good work by Sam Walker. Error off the service of Paul Carroll, and that's it. Ends a very, very comprehensive win to Iran in the first match of Olympic qualifying. 4 spots in total up for grabs, and the Asian Giants have laid their mark in this tournament. It's been very impressive in all departments. Not so for Australia, substandard. Thomas Edgar injured, saw limited minutes, and they failed to cover his loss, but combine that with some errors all over the court. So they avenged their defeat from the World Cup only a few months ago in Japan. And also, of course, Australia beat Iran on the way to qualifying for the 2012 Olympic Games. The Iranians looking for their first ever Olympic berth, and they've started in the best possible fashion. Australia will have to regroup. They face Venezuela tomorrow in their second match. Iran play Canada. So some stunned looks on the faces of the Australian players. That's about as comfortable as it gets in international volleyball. The standout performer was that man, the Iranian captain, Saeed Marouf. There's the third set numbers. Look at the error count by Australia, 12-4. Iran not as prominent in the blocks department, but certainly attacking wise they were monstering the green and gold. And 3 aces to zip for Iran, the only numbers that Australia led in that third set. Despite the dig count of 5-4. Far too often they had to defend their territory, the volleys, and Iran got on top in so many rallies, but also got back into rallies with some excellent defensive work. There's the match statistics. 27 errors to 12. Even on the dig counts, but 11 blocks to 4. So the error count for Australia and the blocks for Iran really set the theme for this match. So solid defensively, the Iranians. Time and time again, Australia couldn't find a way through their front court. Eight teams, only 4 berths up for grabs for the Olympics. After the USA and Italy qualified automatically from the World Cup. World number 1, of course, is Brazil. Now one of the gold medal favourites. Australia and Iran trying to make up the numbers, but it's Iran that's drawn first blood. At the Yoyogi Stadium. Thomas Edgar, the Australian captain, not fully wound up, but Lozano was, the Argentine coach. I'm sure impressed in what he saw out of his Iranian team. All smiles for Iran. Australia have to go back to the drawing board. And a comfortable straight sets victory by Iran over Australia in the opening match of Olympic qualification.